Recording. Hey everyone, welcome to eLearnChat. It's been a long time. We are back again, and I am joined today by the very intelligent, very smart, very witty, pretty Dr. Susan Nash. How you doing, Susan?
Oh, it's so great to be back. I've really missed everything when the moving was going on and then
hmm
traveling and all that sort of thing.
I think we did too, because the moving was just a bear. But anyway, yeah, for all those who don't know, we just moved up to Boise, Idaho from Southern California. It's a move. It's different. It's very different. It's hot. It's really hot up here. But that's summer. And then we'll probably complain it's freezing in winter, but that's okay. The people are very nice, so that makes up for it. And and you've been a very busy camper. You spent most of your summer working, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's cue up our intro now.
This show is sponsored by Relate Corporation, Digital Learning, Corporate Video, Learning Design, and Management Consulting. Visit us at www.relatecasts.net. Thanks.
And we are back. We're back. Where are
Yes,
we? Is it only me?
I
Oh,
see
here
you.
it is. Oh, I see. Sorry. Um, guess what? You wrote a book. Another book.
Yes.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, Susan is quite prolific. She writes a lot. She reads a lot. She teaches a lot. She does a lot of things a lot. So uh, you have a doctorate in a lotness because you do a lot. um, so you wrote a book. Tell us about your book.
Well, okay, but thank you for the compliment. I know it probably looks like a lot, but I think that just it's all a matter of perception because sometimes I think, I'm not doing enough. But this book, I am so exhausted and happy that it's out. It came out a few weeks ago, and it's Moodle for e-learning development, but it says Moodle 4. I should say 4.0, but it's because version of Moodle 4.0 came out. I first got involved in this book back in 2007 or 8, and I was involved in version 1.9. The very first version was written by William Rice, and then he had a lot of changes. So basically, they asked me to collaborate. And so then, what it turned out is I've been basically doing all of it for the last editions. This is the fifth edition, so super excited about it. And it really focuses on how to be effective, how to course the e-learning part. How do you put together a course map? How do you do the planning? How do you do everything else? And it just really focuses on that and gets you up and running. And then it also helps you take advantage of these wonderful features of Moodle 4.0. So essentially with 4.0, you can take an easily design a course that works equally well on your phone, on your on your on your laptop, on your tablet, on your desktop. And then if you're interested in setting up your own training, you don't have to go through something like Udemy and be um, trapped with um, their invisibility or whatever. What you can do is set it up so that people can just sign up, pay through PayPal or whatever, credit card. Then they can take a course, do the little, watch the video, read things, do a little assessment, and it can automatically generate a badge or certificate.
So this version of Moodle has, or maybe could have been previous ones, I'm not sure, but this one definitely has integrated e-commerce.
Yes. So what it does, the other ones did not, and you can download Moodle 4.0 for free, and you can get it through GitHub or whatever. I would recommend going to Moodle.org, and there are several places that you can download. You can GitHub or just downloading directly from Moodle. and you can install it on-prem. But on-premise and it's free. But as you know, nothing on-premise is actually free because you'll spend a lot of time in your admin roles. And if you're like me, I don't really know how to do all that, so I'm not the admin type. So a lot of people go through Moodle Cloud, and that is free for the first 60 days. But then the most basic one is, I think, it's about $120 a year, and it
That's pretty
does have
reasonable,
plugins.
though.
Yeah, so there's plugins, so it allows you to do all of the just the e-commerce.
Now, do you think this version of Moodle will actually be more accepted in the uh, commercial industry, and not just academia, but in other places? Because Moodle's always been primarily in academics, but people have used it for other things. And do you think this one will make it more to businesses who only have like 1,000 LMSs to choose from? It's and they're all pretty costly for the most part. Not all, but a lot of them are pretty costly. Would this work for private entities or just commerce, regular commercial endeavors, banks, finance, whatever people are doing?
I think it's really good. It's the way it's set up now. It's really, really effective for training. So any kind of training or compliance training, stuff that has to be done by everyone. The thing about Moodle is it's really robust, so you can definitely do that. Now, if you're going to have a lot of users, you might need to talk to like some kind of partner. If you're going to have like 1,000 users,
Hmm.
um, that might get a little complicated in terms of Moodle Cloud. So you want a scalable solution, or you might want to partner with somebody who does have it on-prem, and then you pay them a little bit.
No, that's great. And if people, let's say people want to get Moodle, what would your advice be of where to start, how to start? Would it be just start on your own, try to figure it out, or to go to the Moodle cloud?
I would start by buying my book.
Well, there you go. And that is the end of the
No,
show. We got it all done. No, just kidding. Uh,
no. I
that
mean,
that's good
I,
advice. That's good advice.
no,
Throw the
actually,
book
I'm
again.
joking because you won't. I think that you won't be able to do anything on Moodle with just the book. You need to actually sign up for a Moodle account and all
Hmm.
that. So what I would recommend is going to Moodle Cloud and then just signing up for a free account and playing around with it. And then I would also recommend going to Moodle.org. And if you go to that site, Moodle.org, you'll see a couple of demo sites. And those are really helpful because you can actually play around, and it's like a sandbox that you can play with. So it's really effective if you do that. So I don't know if you can actually go to Moodle.org right now, but I can show you.
We can't right now, not yet.
Oh, okay.
We can, but we can't yet. We don't have the stuff set up right now.
Oh, okay. So what you would do is go to Moodle.org, and at the top of the navigation bar, you'll see something that says it will say documentation, and it'll have demonstration, etc. Well, click on demonstration, and you will have two options. One is called the Mount Orange School, and one is called Sandbox. And the one that's Mount Orange actually has uh, mock ups of courses that are there that replicates what it would look like to actually do the courses. And then if you sign up, you can sign up as a student, or you can sign up as an instructor or an admin, and then manager, course manager, and then you can actually work with those roles and see what you can do with it. So it's really effective in that. And then with the sandbox, you can sign up as a manager, and it gives you all kinds of opportunities to build your own course. Now, the only drawback is it will erase it after an hour.
Hmm.
The top of the hour, boom, your work is gone. but it gives you a chance to play around.
So what are we showing here? You're now live.
Well, I don't see anything, but
Yeah.
so Rick, you developed a course for Udemy. What was your experience with that?
Um, Udemy was interesting. I think you took over the screen, or did you? Yeah. Hold on.
I see you, Rick.
Okay. That was weird. Okay. Um, what originally it was fairly straightforward in terms of you set up your
I
account,
don't
you
see
set
anything
up
now, Rick. Just
yeah,
quick alert. There's nothing showing.
nothing showing up.
There we go. There you go.
Okay. Um, so you set up your account, you create your courses. They're 5-minute videos. That's all you can do. Well, no, you can make more, but they recommend 5 to 10 minute videos, and then you can have multiple chapters, if you will, or lessons. And then you just put up there. They're fussy. When you put something up, I remember the very first time they came back with lots of little comments, and they weren't really comments about the content, but about how they wanted to see the content, or things that we said, or oh, don't show that because it's not our platform. There were a lot of little things about Udemy that were okay, but they were also a little bit of a pain. Um,
Hmm.
Other times the course went in like that, a second, no problem. Once we got the hang of the first course, then we knew what to kind of avoid that they didn't like or whatever. Like you can't always put website links in, little things like that. You have to kind of keep within the environment. But I think the thing there is if you're planning on hosting your content on Udemy, it's a very big website in terms of they hold a lot of content. So when you have that much content, there is a possibility that you'll never be seen. Now, it's not easy to advertise for your content. You have to kind of go outside and advertise back into Udemy, and that can get you viewers. It's not bad. They take a certain amount, but on the other hand, they're doing all of the LMS stuff, so that's not too bad. And it's okay. It's just one of those that I think it's okay. It's not a bad environment. After about 6 months, I think we took it off. Maybe I don't think we lasted a year on it, and then we just started hosting off of Vimeo. So that's just because we're doing video content. Vimeo didn't seem any better or worse than Udemy, and we just stuck to Vimeo, since we already had a Vimeo account and we control it. Nobody tells us what to do, how not to do it. It's pretty easy. So for us, I enjoyed the Vimeo experience better. But for somebody starting out or doesn't really know what they want yet or is pretty easy about the content they're developing, Udemy was fine. Moodle sounds like it would be just as fine. Sounds like you could do a lot with it without having to worry too much about your content. Nobody moderates your content. You pretty much have your own content, correct?
Yeah, totally have your own content. I see the difference between Udemy and Moodle is that Udemy is a course marketing platform that offers frameworks or templates where you can upload and fill in the blank kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And I remember getting involved with something like that years ago in early 2000s where they were like, they wanted to have everybody put their courses up there and then they would mark it and take a little piece. And these were early days, so at first it sold because I wasn't in just like a forest of courses. But I think that right now, the problem with going with some of these platforms, yes, you have the convenience of your course platform and everything, but there are limitations. The big downside, I think, is you get lost. You get lost and people can't find you. And so you really have to do all of your own marketing. And, that ostensibly that's what Udemy was going to be good for.
Yeah. Yeah. We
The
have
idea is that there's so much traffic to Udemy that people discover you in Udemy. I don't think that's the case.
no, I don't think I don't think it is. Some people have done very well, and when you talk to them, they were early on adopters, really early on, before there was a ton of content. So they made a
Hmm.
ton of viewers, or they got a ton of viewers real quickly. If you go in now, it's a little harder. There's not a lot differentiating between, your content and maybe somebody else's content in terms of people have to really be looking for it. You have to really meta tag well, or you won't be found.
Either that or you have a huge
You have it up?
TikTok following or something like that, and you tell people to look for your course on
That
Udemy.
too. That too. Um, okay. What chat am I on right now? Huh? Yeah, we're going to put on the Moodle side for a second. Go ahead.
Okay, there we go. So if you see at the very top, you'll see documentation. So that's where
You
you can
can
click
scroll.
on it and and when you click on the documentation, it will take you to whatever version. Now this is 4.0, but if you are still in like even 2.0 or whatever, you can go back to those.
Hmm.
But this is 4.0. So then it gives you the basics on
Did you click on
um,
documentation? Yeah.
how to add users, the app, etc. And this is good. It's accurate. The only drawback is that you can get a little bit lost in it, and it doesn't really tell you anything about how to be effective.
But your book does.
Um,
But your book does.
yes, it
There you
does.
go.
Anyway, and then that book about killed me too. I have to say because they asked me to do a version, an update for 3.11, and I said, well, okay. By the time it gets out, it'll be the very last
Mm,
um, of 3.11. It'll be the last of like the old version that's about to be deprecated. And so, like, why don't we be like the forward um, vanguard? And so that was a good strategy. Except I had to do all the versions and the book is basically written, but with old screenshots. So I'll just plug in the screenshots with 4.0. Well, 4.0 is so different that not only did the screenshots change all the different like the steps, the names of the different steps and the screens and all those things
yeah.
changed. So I was like, and it was very challenging. And and then also some of the things from the older versions were just made no sense whatsoever. So I had to slash a lot of things. But if you go to Moodle, the Moodle.org site, you can also click on and see what the some of the things that are so great about the the new version. And one of the new versions things that's really great, and you can kind of see it. It has a picture of the way it looks um, in the phone. Is it gives you a little dashboard. So if you set it up and you give deadlines for things, your students, if you're like in a university or school or whatever, you'll know what's due because it'll pop
Mm.
up. And then if you finish something or half finished, it'll go, okay, you're 20% done. And it's like so helpful for kind of being um, an organizer, like a graphical organizer. So it builds that in. And it also has has the last thing that you worked on, so you can just go back to that. I work in Canvas a lot, so I was kind of like comparing it to Canvas.
Okay.
And Canvas has a lot of those options. The thing about Moodle is that you can simplify things, so you're not
Okay.
stuck with all of the junk that might come with um, a Canvas build.
No, that's good. Anyway, what I'm seeing isn't exactly what I'm calling up on screen, so I'm not sure what happened to my controller. But, huh? Okay, but I'm seeing other stuff too. Look at my screen. I see part of the previous screen. So it's a little weird. It started out with the full screen, but now I'm seeing parts of it. So I'm not sure what I'm seeing. Anyway, but that was good. Yeah, I wish you the best of success with the book. And there's a lot of people who use Moodle. For all you people in the audience, uh, tons, tons. It's probably one of the biggest. I think you once said it is actually the biggest LMS in use worldwide.
Well,
That's
yes, and I think that what what happens is a lot of the Moodle partners have built custom uh, themes, so you may not even know that you're using Moodle.
Oh, that's true. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, because most LMSs are so sexy and exciting anyway. Who would notice it, right? um, I'm being
Oh yeah,
snide.
Blackboard.
I'm being snide. There's still a lot of LMSs that don't look very good. Some do. Some are starting to make great strides, but they're not the most graphical user interfaces, and they tend to be very textual. And you're dealing with generations that aren't all that textual. They're much more maybe graphical. They want to see something
Yes.
that kind of takes them somewhere that makes sense to them, not read through 150 courses to find the one you want. Yeah. How's the
Right.
searching capability on Moodle?
Well, it depends on what you want to search. If you have your own institution and you have a list of courses, you can organize how it looks, and so it's you can make it so they can search by category,
Okay.
or you can search by keyword, or um, by degree, or whatever, or search by all of it. So it's good. And then the other thing that they totally redesigned the little icons for the activities and
Mm,
resources.
yeah.
So they're nice and up to date and happy looking.
That sounds great. Well, Susan, it's exciting. It's always fun to write a book and have it published. And now on that version that's on Amazon, is that in physical or Kindle only, or what version is it?
Okay, so you can get a paperback, and I should have brought it in. It's in the other room. I
Hmm.
could hold it up, or and it's also available as an ebook in Kindle, or
Okay, great.
other downloadable forms.
Oh, that's great. So that's a lot of. You can't say you have no time to read it. You can read it anywhere. So, so definitely, if you have any questions for Susan, um, we'll put her link below so you can go to her website, elearningcorgi.com, and she'll probably have lots of comments and stuff on the book. And feel free to comment and buy the book. Buy it. It's a good investment. No, it's a good investment. Susan's a good friend. We want to promote Susan. Um, so anyway, well, Susan, thanks again for sharing that and sharing the hard work, because it's not that easy to write a whole book, and especially one that has, how many pages is it, by the way?
Oh, it was torture. It was 400 and
I was
something.
just going
And
to
of
say
course, that's because it has a lot of
400.
graphics, a lot of
Yeah,
screenshots.
that's a lot, but that's a lot of work getting all that together and making it understandable. So again, hope you do really well with that book. Next week we will be back on again. I think we're going to be on regularly from now, so that's good. We think we got most of our gremlins fixed up on the system. With the move, we were down literally about 2 months. So, and I think we were down a month before that with getting the move going. It was not fun. So we will see you folks next week. We may even have a guest. I know we've got one guest lined up. So soon we'll have more guests. And Susan, we'll see you again next week. And if you're watching, if you have any comments, feedback, please leave them below out here on YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot. Susan, we'll see you next
Oh,
week.
thank
Take
you.
care. Bye bye.